Hi, I'm Susan Dreyfus, President and Chief Executive Officer for Families International and the Alliance for Children and Families. Now is a time more than ever in America where strong, vital, nonprofit human service organizations are critical. But yet, folks, we're under some very great risks right now as a sector. Our need for strategy, our need for relevance, our need to be thinking about the future in bold and dynamic ways has never been more important. You know that since I joined Families International and the Alliance over these last couple of months, I've been talking about impact. I've been talking that we have to be more than high-performing organizations in terms of our leadership and our governance and our fund development. We have to be high-performing, impactful organizations. We have to see ourselves and be seen as being part of achieving the impacts we know cause the greatest social inequity in America today. That is poverty. That is improving the health of all citizens in our country. That is making sure that everyone has the opportunity to experience educational and employment success and live safe lives. We are part of that impact. The world cannot achieve those things without us. And it's very important that as you do your work together, that you think about the kinds of questions your organizations need to be asking themselves about not only are we a high-performing organization, but are we seeing ourselves and are we seen as being highly impactful within our communities? A few questions that I hope that you're asking yourselves is whether or not your organization is truly aligned to a larger impact statement of what you want to stand for, not only in your programs and your services, but your leadership, your community ties, but most importantly to me, your advocacy. And I hope that's something that you'll always be thinking about when you think about your strategy in the 21st century. I also think you need to be asking yourselves about those individual areas of impact that I talked about and whether or not you can see the correlation between the work you do and how you're relevant to those things. We have to be able to be at the table when people are talking about education reform and helping more children in our country achieve educational excellence. We have to be able to be at the table in healthcare reform. The world is moving quickly in healthcare reform, and I worry that the nonprofit human services sector is both not seeing itself and being seen as being highly relevant and necessary to not only improve the population of the health of our country, but to bend that cost curve of healthcare. Because you see, it's the few. It's the highly vulnerable populations that are that classic biopsychosocial intersection of need that drive high health care expenditure in our country. You can't bend the cost curve of health care without us, and it's important that we are relevant at the table and part of that conversation in the months and years ahead. So just one little quick example I share with you, but please know that the work you do is so vitally important. Now is a time more than ever for you to be grabbing hold of strategies that really propel your organization into the future. Be more than the provider of programs and services. Be a strong and vital advocate. Be a strong, courageous community leader. And always be organizations that stand for something larger and make your missions come to life.